Hello and welcome to our Week 1 battle for the Oshean League Division 2 versus the Vinyl Alouettes coached by Mono64. Doing a team builder this week, as we shall be for the foreseeable future. It's my first one, so please be gentle. So, the team that we have, or the roster that we have available to us, is Landorus Darien, our Z Captain, Toxapex, Crobat with Z-moves, Lucario with Z-moves, Electrifier, Magmortar, Mega Absol, Megaena, Tangrowth, Rabombi, and Claydol. I made this big, huge thing about picking Megaena because it's awesome, and then I didn't bring it. Go figure. Our opponent this week has got access to Celesteela, his Z Captain, Starmie, Heliolisk, Snorlax, Golbat, Gerda, Mega Charizard X, Tapu Bulu with Z moves, Crocodile with Z moves, Jellicent, and the infamous Regirock. Mutter. So, the big threats that I see on his team is obviously the Mega Charizard X, the Tapu Bulu, and the Celesteela. Problems I'm going to have is the Snorlax. Everything else is kind of much of a muchness. Starmie's the fastest thing in his roster at base 115. We've only got... Oh, pardon me. We've only got, I think, 2 Mons faster than it and 1 Mon tied with it in the Mega Absol. So, if we want to outspeed his team, we're going to be relying on Scarfs. And speed control. Speed control is a big theme this week. The roster that we brought, or the team that we brought, I'm going to get those words mixed up all season. This week, first up is our special Lucario, with holding the Fightinium Z, because I love special Lucario. Nobody expects the special Lucario. It's got Nasty Plot, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Aura Sphere. Nasty Plot obviously sets up at +2, and a Z Aura Sphere one-shots the Celesteela, as far as I know. I did some calcs. It one-shots Celesteela, which is nuts. Dragon Pulse is there as a nice neutral option, as well as to one-shot the Megachar X once I get up to speed, or get up to nasty plotting. Flash Cannon is there for the Tapu Bulu. The fact that I had to bring those 3 moves is really annoying because I wanted to bring the Vacuum Wave, because at base 90 speed, I'm outsped by the Crocodile, the Charizard, the Starmie, the Heliolisk, pretty much everything that can destroy the Lucario. But that being said, I've gone for max speed and max special attack. Probably could have done some speed creeping with the speed, but figured I probably didn't need it. Probably should have done so. But, what, 306 speed? It's pretty decent. I'll do better with Bradford Lucario in the future. Next up, we have then got one of the more potent members of the team in our Landorus. It's a Scarf Landorus, because we need to outspeed things. At 284 speed, we outspeed a Adamant Crocodile, which with Choice Scarf means we outspeed him while scarfed. The 164 EVs guarantees that with Jolly Nature. I went with the Jolly over the Adamant Nature because it meant that I could invest less EVs into it, I think. Max attack to hit hard, 88 in HP, and then the extra 4 in special defense. Nice and simple. We have Earthquake to hit everything hard, U-turn for a little bit of momentum, knock off some utility, and then Stone Edge to hit the Celesteela. And pretty much just to hit the Celesteela. Our third member is our Tangrowth, holding the leftovers for the passive regeneration whilst in, and regenerator for the regeneration when I switch out. Max defense, max HP. To be honest, pretty standard. Bold nature, with Stun Spore, Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Sludge Bomb. Fully committing into the special attacking this week. Giga Drain is really useful because it means I can get some extra passive regen, and Sludge Bomb is there specifically for the Tapu Bulu. I one-shot Tapu Bulu with this thing. Max HP, max special defense, nature, assault vest. I think I one-shot. when I cast it, I one-shot that. And with my spread, I survive a neutral Z Mega Horn from an Adamant Max attack Tapu Bulu. So Tapu Bulu is not killing this thing. Stun support is for a crap load of speed control. Leech Seed is also there to get some more passive regen, as well as wear down some of the tankiest things like Snorlax. Next up, we have got our Toxapex, the second half of our Regenerator core, because Regenerator is dumb. Why did they create Regenerator as an ability? It's possibly one of the biggest mistakes they have ever made. And that's saying something. But obviously holding Black Gloves for some passive regeneration, as well as to kind of shy away from some trick and thief shenanigans. Toxic for the Snorlax, knockoff to get rid of items, liquidation as a general decent stab move, as well as to drop defenses for drop the defenses for the Landers, in all honesty. And then Haze to get rid of any and all Dragon Dances that the Charizard may or may not want to set up, as well as any Beast Boost that the Celesteela might get up. Max Special Defense, really not much. Max Special Defense, Max HP, not much to say about that. Extra 4 points into defense just to get that little extra, sturdiness. Nothing really to talk about. Nothing special here. The specialness comes with our Rabombi, who is the other element of our speed control core, with the Sticky Web, the Quiver Dance, the Dazzling Gleam, and the Psychic. The speed EVs were to outspeed everything that is unscarfed and unboosted. Starmie can only reach 361, but with Timid 194, I reach 363, which means that I outspeed it. I can't go any lower than that because otherwise I speed tie with Starmie rather than... Because the 361 to 363 is that 2-point jump. What am I going to do? The rest of the points into HP. Max special attack, and then the rest into HP, giving it the odd 277, and then split between the two defenses because, hey, he doesn't have download. Plus, they're slightly off anyway. Either way, kind of a dedicated lead with the Focus Slash. Obviously tries to get the Sticky Web up. Celesteela and Jarex before it's, Megas isn't going to be affected, and neither is the Golbat. But it affects the other fast things. It affects the Crocodile, it affects the Starmie, and it affects the Heliolisk, which, in all honesty, that's all I really need it to affect. And then if I can switch the Charizard X out, it will then affect that after it Megas. Quiver Dance, in case I do get the chance to set up, because Dazzling Gleam and Psychic is a pretty good combo for his entire team. About the only problem I'm going to have with that, the Celesteela. Everything else, I think I can just smash with those two moves. Psychic is kind of there for the Golbat, so I can destroy that thing if that thing does turn up. Ooh, pardon me. Finally, we have got our Claydol. I'm realizing now that perhaps I should have gone for a more physically defensive Claydol, considering he has like 3.5 special attackers on his team, and the rest are all physical. But I went for the max special defense and the max HP. It's obviously holding the leftovers because it is a tank. It has got Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Psychic, and Reflect. He does only have 2 rockers in the Crocodile and the Regirock, but trying to get rid of those hazards is always good, especially considering I have a flying type and a bug type on my team. He does have 2 hazard removals in Golbat and the Starmie. I mean, I'm pretty sure... I think Charizard gets Defog, but who's going to bring it on Charizard? Especially when you're trying to set up. Celesteela might get it, but I'm not entirely sure. Not now, anyway. I did check. But, so Stealth Rock probably aren't going to go up, but Stealth Rock are very, very useful. Psychic is there as a decent add. He has no dark types. So, oh no, he does have 1 dark type. My bad. He has the Crocodile, but other than that, I hit everything. And I hit everything for decent damage. And then obviously the Reflect is there because, as I mentioned before, most of his squad is physical attackers, so I want to protect the rest of my team from that. Yeah, solid team. I put quite a bit of thought into it. Probably should should have put a bit more thought into it. But either way, we shall be back in a second with the battle itself. Right, welcome back to the battle. As you can see, our opponent brought the Crocodile, the Celesteela, the Mega Charizard X, the Starmie, and the Golbat, and the Heliolisk. No Bulu, which I really expected to come. And slightly disappointed that it didn't come. The Heliolisk and the Golbat, I didn't entirely expect, and the Crocodile, I really didn't expect. I mean, I have Lucario. I mean, in my mind, Lucario and, well, I have Lucario and I have Electivire, which, okay, yes, they get hit by the Earthquake, but I can make them outspeed. So, I'm surprised to see the Crocodile. But I lead off with my Landorus, as he leads off with his Heliolisk. I'm just going to fire off the Earthquake, knowing that I am faster than this thing, unless it is Scarfed. He switches out, so the Earthquake is completely useless as he switches into Flying type in the Celesteela. At this point, I'm going to switch into my tank. He goes for the Hidden Power. Turns out it's Ice. He crits me, which is annoying. As long as he doesn't get another crit, I should be okay to go for the Sun Spore. It's... I really needed the Stun Spore to land on that thing. Get it slowed down. Now I'm going to switch into the Toxapex to absorb the Hidden Power Ice. I couldn't go into the Claydol, which is kind of what I wanted to do, because obviously it's going to destroy it. I take so little from that Hidden Power Ice. I go for the knockoff, get rid of his lefties. Here's he goes for the Leech Seed. So now he has basically got his leftovers back. I switch back out into my Tangrowth as he goes for the Earthquake, which does sod all. I'm going to go for the Leech Seed here, I believe. Yep, go for the Leech Seed here as he goes for another Hidden Power Ice. Brings me down, but with the 2 sets of leftovers and the Regenerator, I'm going to be switching out and the Leech Seed. I'm going to be switching out and having much more HP than I came in with. I switch back into the Toxapex to absorb the Hidden Power Ice. Yeah. This is going to be the theme. I switch into the Claydol now as he switches into the Golbat. I'm not going to put the Stealth Rocks here because he's just going to defog them in my mind. But he does instead go for the U-turn and switches into his Starmie. I go for the Psychic. Does a little bit of damage, but obviously it's resisted. I now switch into the Toxapex as he goes for the Scald. Really doesn't do anything. The fact that he switches out here tells me that he's possibly Scarfed or Spexed. I go for the knockoff on it because I'm pretty sure that'll kill it, but he switches into the Celesteela, so it does sod all. I switch up to the Liquidation as he goes to the Leech Seed. I'm still confused as to why Celesteela gets Leech Seed. Like, it's a Steel type that's not Grass, but sure. I go for the Liquidation again as he switches into his Heliolisk, which turns out to be Dry Skin, which means that it's immune. He goes for the Surf, which does nothing, really. I go for the knockoff, which does a decent amount of damage and goes with his Life Orb. So, guaranteed Landorus is faster than this thing, which is useful to know. After another set of Leech Seed, I switch out into my Tangrowth. Yes, it's the physical wall, but it's going to be doing better against the Heliolisk and the Volt Switches and stuff. As he switches into his Char X, he Mega Evolves, goes to the Will-O-Wisp. Really, not much point doing that. I go for the Stun Spore. Thankfully, I hit. That thing is now speed controlled. Even if it sets up a Dragon Dance, my more offensive stuff is going to be faster. I go for the Leech Seed as he gets paralyzed. Kind of annoying for him, kind of annoying that the paralysis is doing things other than what it wanted to, but also kind of good because it stops him from setting up a Dragon Dance. I switch into Landorus, get the Intimidate off as he goes for the Flare Blitz, and holy crap, that hurt. I'm faster than this thing. Except I'm pretty sure he's going to switch, so I go for the U-turn. He switches into a Celesteela. I go for the U-turn, switch into the Tangrowth to take the incoming Hidden Power Ice. Except he switches into the Golbat as I go for the Leech Seed, and I can start getting some nice chip damage on that thing. I'm going to go for the Stun Spore here because it's something else that I want to slow down as he goes for the Super Fang, which I did not expect, and I missed the Stun Spore because the Stun Spore obviously has to miss at least once. Then okay, I switch into Landorus as he goes for the U-turn. Not sure why he went for the U-turn and didn't just go for the Super Fang again. As he switches into Heliolisk, I'm obviously faster than this thing, so I'm just going to Earthquake this thing. It dies. I don't think he expected me to be that fast. He then switches into his Celesteela. I'm obviously Scarf, so I have to switch out, go into the Toxapex as he fires off the Hidden Power Ice. There was no way I was staying in on that thing in any way, shape, or form. It's at 60%. It is not in range for an Aura Sphere yet. Aura Sphere, it does 42.9% at neutral and at a Z move, so I need to chip this thing down. So I go for the second liquidation, get that thing below the threshold as he goes for the Leech Seed. Need to shake off the Leech Seed, but obviously he's going to go for the Earthquake, so I switch into the Tangrowth. Also, he's now back above the threshold, which is annoying. But I go for the Leech Seed again, just to try and get that thing down, as he switches into the Charax. At this point, I like at max defense, max HP. I can take a Flare Blitz from this thing pretty handily. So I just go for the Sludge one, gets a bit more damage down, considering he's got everything else up. And he gets paralyzed again. Bit annoying for him. It would have just dropped the Tangrowth down a bit lower. I go for the Sludge Bomb. It does sod all to the incoming Golbat because it is resisted. I'm going to go for the Leech Seed here and miss. I go for the Stun Spore here as he Tailwinds. Kind of pointless Tailwind, in all honesty. But he goes for the Super Fang as I go for the Leech Seed and get a little bit of passive regeneration back off of him before he is obviously going to switch out because he's paralyzed and he is seeded. Except he goes for the Super Fang again, which I did not expect. As I go for the Giga Drain, because I do kind of expect the Starmie to come in here. Or the Crocodile, just to try and finish me off. But I'm also wearing down his turns as Tailwind. As I switch into my Toxic, he goes to the U-turn now, just as well I did switch, as he goes into his Starmie. I'm just going to hit Knockoff on this thing and do a crap ton of damage to it, completely forgetting that Psyshock is a move, and that hurts. But with the Knockoff, we found out that he's Expert Belt, which means that Crocodile is possibly the only thing that's scarfed that I should be worried about. I bring in the Tangrowth here to take the physical hit. I'm not going to switch fearing the Ice Beam on this thing because I just want to get as much health back because he's probably just going to Psyshock again. I'll go for the Giga Drain as he switches into the Golbat, which takes that thing nicely. I missed the Leech Seed here as he misses the Super Fangs. I get lefties, I get burn. That was a turn where absolutely nothing happened. It's nice when absolutely nothing happens because of misses. We just repeat what we're going to do. This time I get the seeds up, and I bring him down a little bit. I go for the Sludge Bomb now, get him down to 9%. He doesn't switch. Goes for the Super Fang, get as much damage on me as he can before the Golbat inevitably goes down to the Leech Seed. 6-4 here now, and I am looking in a really, really good spot. Now he brings in the Crocodile, and I do not want to take a knockoff from this thing. Switch into the Claydol, which does take a knockoff from this thing, and dies. Claydol did nothing this game, really. It was kind of death fodder. The Crocodile gets the Moxie boost. I switch into the Landorus to get rid of the Moxie boost, and it turns out that he is not faster than me with my Scarf, so I get the U-turn to get the momentum into the Crocodile, and he goes for the knockoff. He didn't creep to outspeed my Landorus, so I now have a Tangrowth in that goes for the Giga Drain on the Celesteela. Bring me up a little bit. Not too much. At this point, I'm going to be playing a little bit of juggling because he can hit both my sides pretty well. He goes to the Paralysis, so switching to the Toxapex. Now he's going to go for the Earthquake as I switch into the Tangrowth, except he gets paralyzed instead. I'm going to go for the Siege, knowing that I can take a hidden Paralyze as he goes to the Leech Seed himself this time, predicting me to switch into the Toxapex. Obviously, I don't. And now I'm going to switch back into the Toxapex. Ooh, pardon me. As he goes to the hidden Paralyze, except he goes for the Earthquake, which is the first time the predictions have come around in his favour, but 34%, really isn't enough to the Toxapex. Obviously, I want to be trying to keep the damage to a minimum, and with the double generator core, I can just switch between the two of them with impunity and just get up more and more HP. At this point, though, I can switch into the Rabombi and go for the endgame plays. I did originally intend to switch into the Rabombi to then set up the sticky webs, but then realised that actually there's no point setting up sticky webs at this point, so I'm just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam and kill the Crocodile. It's faster than my Rabombi, so the Crocodile is scarfed, just not scarfed without speed landy. Dazzling Gleam kills the Crocodile if it fails to kill the Rabombi. Dazzling Gleam then kills the Megachar X, and the Dazzling Gleam is also going to kill the Starmie. So, little in-game sweep by the Rabombi after everybody but Lucario did so much more work. Rabombi's the glory hunter here. The real MVPs are Tangrowth and Toxapex. Like, absolutely no question about it. GG to Mono. Sorry about the para, but your team was faster than my threats, and I kind of needed the speed control. And Sticky Webs is a great way of speed controlling, but as you can see, he brought 2, possibly 4 potential hazard removers. So I had no opportunity ever to set it up. And if I did set it up, it probably would have been cleared away pretty quickly. So Stun Spore was about the only option I had. As it is, he only got paralyzed 3 times. So it's not the end of the world, but I do feel kind of bad. Just because of the paralysis. Even though I don't think they would have made it too much of a difference to the end result. But hey, if I'm bringing Stall, I'll tend not to bring Parastall because I do think it's a bit of a dick move. I didn't intend to Parastall here. I intended to speed control, get everything slow enough so that Lucario can come in, set up a couple of nasty plots, and then just run through everything. Obviously, that didn't happen because Lucario didn't touch the field. Hopefully next time I bring Lucario is actually going to do something. And obviously, going to need to switch it up between bringing physical and special because I can't bring special Lucario every week because then people will prep for the special Lucario, which I don't want people to do. I want people to prep for the mixed Lucario because that's far more fun to screw with people. Either way, I will see you guys next week for week 2 against, I want to say the Denver Numals. Pretty sure it's the Denver Numals. Yeah, Denver Numals. I think we don't have the best differential at the moment. Or do we? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we have one of the better differentials from week 1. But we don't have the kill leader. We have the passive kill leader at the time of recording in Tangrowth because that's a thing. But hopefully, if Rabombi keeps playing like this, I actually don't need the rest of my team because Rabombi's kind of a tiny flying bug god. With bug, the only time I'd ever thought I'd say that is to a Yanmega or possibly a Ninjask, not a Rabombi. Rabombi is going to put in so much more work this season than I actually expected it to when I picked it. But at the end of the day, and at the end of all that, I need to stop rambling because I do ramble. If you like the video, please do like the video. If you want to see more, do subscribe and then comment on ways of not rambling on an outro because holy crap, I'm just listening to myself now and I ramble a lot. Either way, I will see you guys next week for week 2.